Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to do a full face of Kosas Beauty. I have loved the brand since they came out, and recently they have added a few more products to their range, which I do now have. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. I have already primed and prepped my skin. Unfortunately, Kosas don't have a primer yet, so we are going to start with the brows. They've recently come out with two brow products. So one is the dual action defining brow pencil, and I love the packaging of this one, and it's dual ended, and I love the fact that the component is square, so it's easy to grip, and it has a triangular nib, which you can see. And then the other brow product is this fluff and hold treatment gel, and I got the tinted brow gel in the shade dark brown, and this is what it looks like. Again, it has that nice acrylic packaging which ties into the powder product. So we are going to start out with our brows today. I have already somewhat glued the brows down with a brow gel. So the brow pencil has got a very hard waxy texture, but it goes on very smoothly, and it's kind of pigmented, so I didn't really press too hard, and I managed to get the right amount of pigment that I wanted on my brows. Now we are going to move on with the brow gel, which has this type of brush. Honestly, it's just like a normal brow gel, but we'll see. If we compare this side to this side, this definitely smoothed and tidied up my brows a little bit. I actually quite like that. It has a dry formula, which I assume helps with gluing down the brows. So moving on to the complexion, I have this Kosas Color and Light Cream. I have featured this in a few of my videos in the past, and I really love this. As you can see, I have used this a ton. I like to apply this first on my face before I go on with foundation, because I find that I put less product whenever I have a blush on top, and it just adds a nice natural flush to the skin. And then I will add a little bit of the highlighter on the high points of my face. I am kind of rusty with filming at the moment because I'm still trying to figure out my setup and stuff, but hopefully you guys don't mind. Also, I have been really heavily into natural makeup. I don't have any cream bronzer from Kosas yet, so I'm just gonna leave this as is, and then we're gonna go over the bronzer that they have. So for concealer, I have been loving this Kosas Revealer Concealer. Again, I have featured this numerous times in the past videos and even on Instagram. So what I like to do is to basically just conceal this part right here, one here and one here. I let it sit for a bit because this type of concealer, if you blend it out immediately, it doesn't give you coverage, as well as it tends to sink into the fine lines. So because it's a very creamy formula, it needs to rest a little bit for it to be able to stick to the skin. So while I wait for that, I'm gonna go with my tinted face oil. This is in the shade 6. I actually like this tinted face oil. I know it's a face oil and I do have oily skin, but I find that it doesn't really make my skin even oilier, or it doesn't feel greasy. All you have to do is to extremely shake it so the pigment can mix in. I would squirt a little bit on my hand. and just apply this on the areas where I need it. I like to apply this foundation with my hand, but recently I have been loving applying foundation with my sponge because I feel like it presses the product into the skin, as well as it is less messy. As you can see, you could still see my skin peeking through, but it just evens out the texture. The only downside for Kosas is that they really are off with the shade range. Like, there's a huge jump in between shades. I find that there's more shade for lighter skin than there are for medium to dark skin tone. And now I'm going to blend the concealer. I'm going to add a little bit just on the cheek area because that's where I find I needed more coverage, since throughout the day I lose my coverage in that area. And whatever is left, I just spread it all throughout the face. This is a new product that they recently came out. Well, at least new to me. It has been out for a while. This is the Cushiony Cloud Set Powder. And I got the shade... Oh, sorry. This is the Cloud Set Powder, and I got the shade Cushiony. So this has got more of a yellow undertone. So I'm going to use this to set my entire face. I have not used this powder yet. Apparently, it's very lightweight. It blurs the skin. It did a good job at mattifying my face without taking away the sheen or the glow from the tinted face oil. But I could tell you, if you have oily skin, this is not gonna make your foundation last. Oh, that is actually quite nice. I'm pleased that I purchased this powder. It is tinted, but it doesn't add any more coverage or any more color to the skin. I assume if you keep building it up, obviously it's gonna add more color, but if you just want a light veil, it's actually perfect. Moving on to the bronzer. I've had this for quite a while. I don't use this as much because it has a little bit of sheen to it. So whenever I do a glowy makeup look, it tends to make my skin oily as opposed to it being more glowy and bronzy. But this is the... I forgot what this is called. Kosas bronzer. Honestly, I forgot what it's called. So again, it has the same formula as the Cloud Set. It is baked, but this one has got a little bit of sheen to it. So I got the shade medium. And I'm gonna use a teeny tiny bit of this because too much makes my skin very greasy. But for an everyday wear, this is such a beautiful bronzer. If you are going to use a matte foundation and you want to add a little bit of glow, this is a good one to have. So I'm going back to the cream blush since we kind of lost that color already. What I like about this cream blush is that you can apply this on top of the powdered skin and it doesn't get clumpy or it doesn't look cakey on the skin. If not, it looks even more natural because it will give you that look from within type of glow. I don't think I need any more highlight because the glow that you are seeing is from the combination of the tinted face oil, the bronzer, as well as the sheen from this cream blush. I have the 10-second eyeshadow or liquid eyeshadow from Kosas. So I have a new shade and this one is in the shade Element. It's a little bit darker than the usual one that I use, which is Glow for everyday. So since we don't have any other complimentary eyeshadow powder from Kosas, I'm just gonna use the bronzer and quickly apply that all over the lid. So So now I'm gonna apply this shade called Element all over the lid, and I will blend it out with my finger. And I'm just gonna quickly use a brush to blend this before it fully dries. I actually quite like the veil of color. I am going to go back to Globe just to put it on the center of the lid for a little bit of sparkle. I have used this eyeshadow so much that I'm already halfway through the tube. This is how much I love it. So what I'm going to do is to go back to the bronzer, and I'm just gonna quickly apply that at the bottom. Since we don't have any powder highlight, I'm actually gonna go back to the Creme highlighter and use a brush. Unfortunately, I did not purchase the mascara from Kosas because I'm particularly picky when it comes to mascara. I like my mascara to last all day. I like it to be affordable, to be honest, because it's the one thing that I don't really want to spend money on since I use it on the daily. So for the lips, I have the Kosas Wet Lip Oil, and I have the shade Dip. To be honest, I'm not very fond of this shade. I would probably much prefer the jelly, which is the clear, but I ended up purchasing this because I wanted to use it on every day. This is my overall look. I'll just quickly apply mascara and I'll come back with you guys with my final thoughts. So here is the look with mascara on. Overall, I really like Kosas as a brand. I like the fact that their products are very easy to use, very easy to apply, and also it lasts throughout the day. Mind you, I have used and worn all of these products except for the powder because this is like the recent one that I purchased, as well as the brow products, but the rest of it I have worn the products as well as featured it in my few videos slash favorites, and I can tell you that they last really well. My favorite out of the bunch would have to be the eyeshadow because one, it is liquid, it lasts throughout the day, and it's very easy to blend. And the other favorite would have to be the concealer. I can't wait to get more shades out of this. The bronzer is a so-so for me. Like, there's times where I love this, times I don't really like it, mainly for the fact that it has a little bit of sheen to it, but if it's matte, I will for sure love it. The powder is pretty okay. I wouldn't say it's life-changing. Like, it did a good job at creating that veil of matteness on my skin without taking away the glow from the base slash cream products. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.